Buddha sat beneath the spreading banyan tree, sunlight filtering through leaves, casting dappled shadows on the earth below. Disciples gathered around, their faces reflecting curiosity, concern, and the yearning to understand life's profound mysteries. You see, suffering, Buddha began, his voice calm, has roots deeper than the parched soil you walk upon. Today, I shall guide you through a teaching not bound by scriptures but by the world around us. In silence, his disciples straightened their attention, awaiting the wisdom Buddha's words would bring. To illustrate compassion's power, the Buddha said, "Let me share the story of a beggar and a hardened merchant." A lone beggar, thin as a skeleton, ventured through the bustling lanes of the market, hunger etched lines of desperation across his face. Yet his plea carried softness. "A coin, dear merchant." Only to quell this life-threatening void within, he asked. The merchant, fortified by walls of pride and his own struggles, dismissed him coldly. "Earn, as I have, rather than dwell in begging." "Strange fellow," the merchant scoffed, his voice sharp. Days passed, and the beggar lay near lifeless under a banyan tree. The merchant, journeying past, glanced toward the figure but averted his eyes. Buddha narrated, "The universe whispers lessons amid our daily actions. Whether compassion guides them, or apathy dismisses them into void." It was then a traveler, humble in attire, approached the weakened beggar. He offered not wealth but bread prepared for his own journey. "Kind traveler, why do you assist a man who returns no gain to you?" asked the merchant. Witnessing the scene, the traveler replied, "Compassion doesn't diminish possessions, rather amplifies the ability to coexist in peace across all struggles shared." "Let me show what the merchant learns afterward," Buddha declared to disciples. Now fully immersed in his compelling story, overcome by the traveler's actions, the merchant felt within his hardened heart heaviness shift towards tenderness like melting frozen mountain streams. The merchant kneels beside the beggar, first out of pity, then sees humanity and nurtures hope-filled connections unconsciously blooming. Buddha gazes at disciples making powerful still eye contact. The beggar regains strength with community enabling personal growth parallel these ripples healed. Village around. One younger disciple ventured asking curiously still loaded doubts deep perhaps attached. Underlying bold curiosity echo people's mundane questions, but Reverend Master teachings abstract. Inspire momentarily maybe yet human patterns revert neglect pragmatically possible adapting. Replicate sustain practical village survival manual. Buddha smiled warmly without condescending simple compassionate honest gentle universal way. Disciple felt his fears safely dismissed before confirmed giving relatable validating, "Thank you." Bringing important reality actualizing particular contextual replication methodologies reflect, flows true compassion intention-based solutions. Phrased eloquently Buddha matches discourse though patience genuine approachable friendly seemed. Balance informal heavy lightly energizing. Over continuous seasonal cyclic lessons villagers evident. Adopting creatively thematic compassionate conduct cultivative collaborative sustainable. Co-functions reflecting inspired Buddhist discipleship work serving framework foundational. Interconnectedness themes seeded roots generations eventual legacy etched. Another day began in the bustling city of Magadha, where wealth thrived but divisions eroded harmony among families and neighbors. Buddha, observing the discord, gathered his disciples under the cool shade of an ancient neem tree. "Today, we shall reflect upon truth and wisdom," Buddha said, his voice gentle yet resonant. "Wisdom mirrors actions, revealing our true selves." The disciples leaned closer, eager to hear the story Buddha had chosen to illuminate his teaching. Buddha began, "Imagine two neighbors, a farmer and a weaver, who shared a well that nourished both their livelihoods. Conflict arose between them, The farmer accused the weaver of stealing water for his dyeing business, leaving the farmer's crops with insufficient sustenance. Tension grew. The weaver retaliated, accusing the farmer of planting water-intensive crops, unfairly draining the shared resource and causing shortages for everyone. Buddha narrated, "Anger blinds us, leaving wisdom obscured and fueling destructive fires that consume even the strongest bonds of humanity." The dispute reached the city's ruler, King Bimbisara, who summoned the neighbors to his court to seek resolution. The king hesitated. Buddha continued. The king pondered their words but found them laced with anger, their true intentions hidden beneath layers of resentment. Buddha approached the ruler, offering his guidance. Wisdom arises not in judgment but in reflection upon our own actions and their consequences. The king asked the farmer and the weaver to reflect silently for 3 days before returning with clarity about their dispute. During those days, the farmer walked through his fields, noticing how his crop choices demanded water far greater than their capacity. Meanwhile, the weaver stood by the well, realizing his dyeing business involved excessive use of the resource, far beyond rightful fairness. Buddha said, "Reflection reveals truths and dissolves discord, enabling us to see not adversaries but fellow seekers navigating shared existence." 3 days later, the farmer and weaver returned to court. Their faces expressed understanding rather than anger. Softened by insight, the farmer admitted his part in the scarcity, pledging to switch to crops requiring less water for the benefit of the community. The weaver confessed his overuse of the well, promising to employ methods conserving water and minimizing dye waste. A resolution emerged. Buddha turned to his disciples and said, "This mirrors the value of truth when we see ourselves and others with wisdom's clarity." As they listened, disciples felt the resonance of wisdom's transformative power within their hearts, ready to embody it in their own lives. Buddha's voice grew tender, his words intimate. In the reflection of wisdom, even the most tangled conflicts can unravel into harmony. The disciples learned not only from Buddha's story but also from observing his method of guiding people toward understanding without force. Days flowed as Buddha and his disciples extended the teachings, encouraging reflection and sharing wisdom throughout the city of Magadha. Families and neighbors, inspired by Buddha's guidance, began to weave their actions into harmonious patterns, dissolving barriers that once divided them. Wisdom's mirror, as Buddha described, became a tool not just for individuals but for communities, fostering unity and shared prosperity. Buddha's disciples carried these principles beyond Magadha, planting seeds of wisdom in villages, towns, and hearts across the land. Through reflection, wisdom grew like an untamed forest, its roots deepening, its shade offering comfort to all who sought peace. Another day began in the kingdom of Kosala, its streets filled with despair as sickness weakened the people's spirits and strength. Buddha, calm and radiant, gathered his disciples beneath a fragrant jasmine tree, its white blossoms symbolizing hope. "Today, let us reflect on perseverance," Buddha said, his voice resonant and steady. Perseverance is the flame illuminating paths when darkness surrounds. The disciples listened intently, eager for the wisdom Buddha would reveal through the tale he was about to share. Once there lived a potter in a village plagued by storms that destroyed her clay jars and shattered her dreams. This potter, skilled and hard-working, watched helplessly as the storm swept through her workshop, reducing her creations to ruins overnight. Overcome by grief, the potter contemplated abandoning her craft, believing her efforts were futile against the forces of nature. Buddha narrated, "The universe tests perseverance, challenging our resolve but offering the opportunity to emerge stronger and wiser through every trial." As the potter sat surrounded by broken shards, a traveler approached. offering her words of encouragement and a simple candle. "Why continue?" the potter asked, her voice heavy with sorrow. "My labor yields only ruins, leaving me without hope or progress." The traveler replied, "A candle's flame perseveres despite the wind. Likewise, your spirit's strength creates vessels enduring life's fiercest storms." Buddha continued, inspired by the traveler's words. The potter rebuilt her workshop, crafting jars with increased skill and unwavering determination. Through trial and error, the potter discovered methods to strengthen her jars, adapting her techniques to withstand future storms. Her resilience inspired her village to rebuild their homes and livelihoods. Uniting in effort and forging bonds through perseverance, Buddha turned to his disciples and said, "Perseverance transforms adversity, igniting light within darkness to guide communities toward hope and renewal." The disciples felt the depth of Buddha's words, understanding the power of perseverance within their own lives and spiritual journeys. Buddha's voice grew tender, his gaze thoughtful. "Each of you carries a flame capable of brightening paths for others and yourselves." The disciples committed to embodying perseverance as they journeyed with Buddha, spreading his teachings throughout Kosala and beyond. Days passed, and Buddha's disciples extended guidance, rekindling the flame of perseverance within the hearts of Kosala's weakened communities. Together, the people overcame sickness and despair, rebuilding their city with unity and strength forged by collective perseverance. Buddha's disciples witnessed the transformative power of perseverance, its light penetrating even the darkest challenges and illuminating paths to healing. Through their efforts, Kosala thrived once more, its streets bustling with vitality and its people flourishing with hope and resilience. Buddha's teachings reached distant lands, inspiring countless others to persevere and create lives filled with strength, harmony, and progress. Perseverance, as Buddha described, became a timeless force uniting humanity, its flame undying and its warmth embracing all who sought peace. "Begin by observing the mind," he said, "noticing when desires arise and understanding their impermanent nature. Like clouds passing through the sky, desires are fleeting and cannot hold you unless you hold them." Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.